Don't you know, pump it up. You've got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You've got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You've got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You've got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You've got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You've got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You've got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You've got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You've got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You've got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You've got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You've got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You've got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You've got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You've got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You've got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You've got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You've got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You've got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You've got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You've got to pump it up. Up, 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 up.
No!
Don't you know, pump it up.
What up, pumpkins? It's still Halloween. Oh shit. Wrong scene, wrong scene, wrong scene. Oh! Guys, my computer has been lagging up a storm today. So I apologize beforehand if there was any lag. If there is, I apologize. It's not me. It's not me. It's my computer. And, you know, we deserve it today. You know why we deserve it today? Do you know why we deserve the lag today? Because, I'll say this again. I was seeing too much bear posting yesterday. Too much bear posting yesterday. But we need to make a higher high here. Not 420 high. We need a higher high on the chart. You know what I'm saying? Call me sarcasm. What's up, bro? Albie. What's up, my man? You guys see my clickbait title today? I've been killing it with the clickbait titles lately, guys. You got to give me some credit. My clickbait titles have been on point. But is it really clickbait? Is my title really clickbait? Or is everyone and their grandma, okay? Everyone and their grandma.
Jordan, how do I buy some Bitcoin?
Waiting for the perfect 32K entry given to them on a silver platter where everyone is just going to frolic in the tulips all together and buy 32K together. Is it going to be that easy where we just retest the previous highs and bounce? It almost seems like a fairy tale. It almost seems like we can all just hold hands together, sell our Bitcoin here, and just buy it back at 32K. Doesn't that sound so easy? And doesn't that sound like we can all make it together, bulls and bears, if we just all did that together? We all planned on doing the same thing together. What did that just sound so perfectly, to sell our Bitcoin right here and buy it back 8% cheaper? Wouldn't that just be so great? It really would be so great. It really, really would be. You know what would be even better? You know what would be even better, guys?
Rant alert.
If we front ran the 32K back testers and we pushed up a little bit higher, that would be even better in my opinion. And honestly, I prefer option number 2. I really, really do. I prefer option number 2. I don't know about you guys, but we'll talk about a little bit about that today and everything in between. Joe Valdez, what's going on, man? Let's go. Greg F, good to see you, my man. Even Chewy's FTM isn't pants shitting. Chewy's FTM. What's going on, guys? Today will be a quick stream. Not really too much to go over. Bitcoin, as much as I'm trolling, okay? As much as I'm trolling, there's really not much to troll about. I'm sort of just trolling and kidding around at this point. Bitcoin's still just kind of in the same range. We're right back at the top of the range, 34,800. Really not that much to say other than we're right back up to this kind of level here, which seems to be the most important level on the chart. As far as like Bitcoin closing above, it's looking good, right? Bitcoin kind of in here, still kind of resistance, but you can see the importance of this level over the course of time. So we're sitting right in there on the street. They're in the street. Would be fantastic if we just saw a little bit of a move up today and we actually closed the daily green. That would be fantastic. Run to 40, then pull back to 38. Man, that would be such a pullback, man. That would be such a pullback. Anyways, let's go check out the daily. So it would be fantastic, and we sort of said this, right? So continues, right? I mean, at least at this point, Bitcoin kind of just making higher highs and higher lows, right? And we've talked about how, you know, in my opinion, this is just my personal opinion. To me, like this move and this breakout out of the 7-month range, I would actually not want to see Bitcoin come back and test 32K here. I actually think that would be not bearish, but you're kind of losing momentum, right? When you break out of a massive range, you want to see momentum continue you higher. You don't want to just, okay, a little bit of a move out of the range, come back and back test. To me, that's not showing strength. That's not that's not what you want to see after a breakout, right? You want to see higher highs, right? And in all the little pullbacks, you want to see disbelief start to creep back in, right? You want to see people start to say, oh, we're going to pull back now. Oh, this and that. That's what you want to see on any one of these little retraces. And we said that before, like you go back to 2020, all the way back here, my guys, right? It was very similar over here when Bitcoin finally broke out of its bear market range, right? And then what did you see consistently? You saw all these little upward sloping consolidations, right? All these little upward sloping consolidations all throughout this period where every single time, right, you got one of these little red candles in here. You had every one of their mother calling for a pullback back to 12K to retest, right? You're going to get that perfect entry at 12K to ride it up for the bull market, right? But every one of these little red candles seemed to get bought up pretty quickly, right? And over the course of time, you just ended up being higher and not getting that perfect 12K pullback. Doesn't mean you can't, right? But it reminds me of these times where it just kind of continued to do upward accumulation. We're lagging. And we're lagging. Okay. It's going to be one of those streams today. It's going to be one of those streams. But we just kind of continue to do upward sloping accumulation. Not really letting the bears have another entry because they have had plenty of chances already this whole year. And we just kind of continued to slowly drift up, right, over the course of time. Almost like a slow bleed to the upside, right? Right back there in 2020, right? So that's what I think, right? If Bitcoin is truly strong here, I actually don't want to see it pull back at 32K. I just want to see it continue momentum, get up to this 38 to 40K, which is the bigger resistance in my opinion. And then we can talk about it, right? Then we can talk about it, but not yet. If Bitcoin pulls back right down to here right now, in my opinion, very You know what I'm saying? The Fed doesn't like what Chief is saying. Is the doubt starting to creep back in? I can feel it, right? Everyone and their mother was super bullish 2 days ago. Now the doubt, this is what you want to see though. On these type of like upwards kind of moves up like this, you want to see doubt creep back in, right? Where when in the green days, everyone's euphoric and yippee, and then you get a couple red days, it takes the euphoria out of the balloon, right? The balloon gets slowly, the air gets compressed out of the balloon. Doubt starts to creep back in. You got everyone calling for a pullback, right? Which, you know, I guess makes sense, right? It makes sense. Why wouldn't we get a pullback, right? We just had a big move up. Why wouldn't we get a pullback? And then really the doubt starts to creep back into the market, right? And I think that's what you're getting right now. I can see it on Discord. I can see it on X. I can see it on Reddit, right? Doubt's starting to creep back in, where 2 days ago everyone was super, super bullish, right? So I would say if you were bullish here, you should be even more bullish here. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're bullish here, you should be even more bullish here. You know what I'm saying? So 24,827. Yeah, I just think Bitcoin's going to continue this upwards consolidation, and it is what it is. And you can even see it here, right? You had this upward sloping trend line. Bitcoin actually false broke to the downside, false bloke to the downside, and then got back into the range, right? And I'm looking to push up higher here. We're doing pretty good, Dan. We're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. Oh, it's okay. Zenshu, just buy higher then. I love when Bath starts trolling the bears, man. Bath, I love when you're a bull better than a bear. Bath, I love when Bath trolls the bears, man. There's nothing better than trolling the bears, right? Let the bears have their little short-term wins, right? Let them have their little short-term wins. Let them jerk off for a day or two. That's fine, right? But it's about the bigger picture at this point, right? As we kind of continue up into, we're talking about less than 6 months into the halving. We're talking about 3 months into the final ETF deadline. I'm going to tell you this. You guys can have fun trying to time every single little move for Bitcoin. All I'll tell you is this, okay? And I think the move is very simple right now, and the price action speaks for itself. I want to be long when the ETF gets approved. It's that simple. I want to be long when the ETF is approved. And I think that's how a lot of the big money and probably a lot of the smart money is thinking. That's why you're just seeing upwards price movement. They want to be long when the ETF gets approved. You do not want to be short when the ETF is approved. It's that simple. It is that simple. That's it. Why are we making this difficult? You know what I mean? Ever since we got the fake ETF news, we've said people are going to be shitting their pants trying to get into Bitcoin because they don't want to miss out on the ETF news. We're going to continue to do that. In my personal opinion, it is what it is. We'll play the same game. Let's go, Joey. That's what I'm talking about, my man. That's what I'm talking about. Anyways, so that's Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin right at a very important spot right now. Could it get rejected here, pull back? Of course it can. I'm just trolling in the short term. But big picture, once again, as we just kind of continue to say the same thing, man. We're back in the old all-time high range. When you have a deviation back into a range, we target the range highs. Will it happen next week? No. But once again, I think at this point, if this was a 4-hour chart, I would be targeting back up to 69K. Right? It's not a 4-hour chart. It's a weekly or monthly chart, but still the same thing remains. So that's really that. What's going on, Denise? Shout out to you. Shout out to you, man. There's still time, Bears. Wait for it. Oh no, we just crashed. Oh. There we go. Guys, I told you the computer's acting up today. Oh my God, look at this. Look at this nonsense going on today. Not muted. You son of a gun. You son of a gun. You guys said he's not muted. Now look at this little hair poking out of my hair too. Oh, Lord. Guys, am I lagging or no? Am I lagging on your end? I can see myself lagging. But you guys aren't telling me I'm lagging. So let me know in the chat. Am I lagging or no? I'm good? Oh, I'm good. Okay, cool. Okay, there we go. What was I saying before? Oh yeah, this the same shit, man. This is the same shit. What else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I was just talking about the weekly. So the monthly and the weekly, right? I mean, like you're at this like monthly close resistance here in June. You're gonna get a little bit of action here, right? A little bit of poppy pop, right? A little bit of resistance when you hit a monthly close low. So we're just chopping around. Nothing too crazy going on here for the corn. Just think we're kind of preparing for that next leg higher as upwards accumulation continues. Like we said, man, you guys can tell I'm probably exhausted today. I honestly, too much bear posting for me. Too much bear posting for me, man. It gets exhausting when you see this move and there's bear posting going on everywhere. It gets exhausting. You know what I'm saying? It really does. I gotta get used to it though. It is what it is. Anyways, altcoins. All right, let's take a look at altcoins. Altcoins, man, look at altcoins. They're sitting right there, man. They're sitting right at the top of that 50 moving average band. Once again, there were ones that haven't moved yet. Pay attention to the ones who haven't moved yet, and pay attention to the ones with strong narratives. I think you're about to see the AI coins go off again. AI is the hottest narrative in crypto, and it has been for over a year now. Take a look at the AI coin charts. Those ones have been outperforming Bitcoin for the whole year. So I think AI coins are prepping for another run. Right? Your renders, your FETs, your PALs, all your favorite AI coins, I think are prepping for another move. Those are my favorite charts at the moment. And then also the ones that are in Wyckoff, right? As Total 3 minus USDT minus USDC sits right at the 50 MA, the 50 MA right there, and really decided, do we want to break out? Is this a top? Where do we want to do? As always, it's going to depend on Daddy, what Daddy wants to do here in the short term. But I think some of these look, it's the ones we talked about yesterday, right? Right. So the layer ones chart looked the best. Oh shit. Let's go back over here. What's going on, John Jones? Good to see you. Signified, so what's your opinion on the future of Litecoin moves? The future of Litecoin moves? I don't like Litecoin. I think Litecoin is ass. If you want my honest opinion, Litecoin is ass. The only time Litecoin is good is before it's halving. Throughout history, when does Litecoin perform the best? Before it's halving. Any other time before that, it just gets slaughtered by Bitcoin. And it's not my feelings or opinions. Once again, let's go take a look at Litecoin real quick. All right, we'll take a look at Signified, because I think you like Litecoin. But here's the deal with Litecoin. Even during bull markets, it gets outpaced by Bitcoin, which is completely pointless to hold that coin if it gets outpaced by Bitcoin, right? That's the whole point of holding altcoins. Let's go to Litecoin Bitcoin chart. All right, this is the Litecoin Bitcoin chart over its history. If you've held Litecoin at any other point besides when it has its halving, right, you've just lost value over time. You know what I mean? Like there's no point of holding this thing. When did it do well this year? Right before its halving, right? Which was like, from June to November of last year, right? And that's when like Litecoin was doing very, very well. It did well in 2018 at that same point, right here. But other than that, like besides this move and this move, it just loses value against Bitcoin throughout its whole history, right? So to me, I don't see the value of Litecoin. I think if you really want to hold an altcoin, there's plenty of other ones that will do a lot better than Litecoin. If you want to hold Litecoin, just hold Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Bitcoin's just a better Litecoin, which is pretty sad considering Litecoin should have no problem outpacing Bitcoin,
What's your opinion on the future of Litecoin moves?
Litecoin chart is cost chart from the future. You gotta throw the cost shade in there, always, man. The cost shade always has to come in. No, but what's it? Which which alts I think are going to perform best over the next few weeks. As long as Bitcoin doesn't shit the bed, which is always a possibility, man. You don't know, but I just got to tell you what the charts are telling me, okay? I'm not going to based off feelings and think that everything's just going to crash. I'm going to stick to the chart, okay? AVAX chart looks phenomenal. I think AVAX is due for a run to the range highs over the next few weeks. We've talked about, it's the same ones we've been talking about, man. Polkadot, I think has the setup also to get a run over the next few weeks as long as Bitcoin doesn't shit the bed, which to me, this is also another indication of why I don't think Bitcoin's going to shit the bed, because I don't think these charts would look like this if Bitcoin was ready to shit the bed. I think these high cap layer ones being prepped to finish the spring phase of the Wyckoff also gives me a signal that I think Bitcoin's going to hold, and that's why I don't think Bitcoin's going to go down, because these charts look like this, right? This is the spring phase breaking the 1 and 2 lows, right? I mean, it's on all of them, right? We can talk about like sand being right there, right? It's just about there to break it back above the 2 lows. Near, let me bring up near here. Near back above the 2 lows. Near's already kind of halfway through the range, but still I think is a good play, right? There's plenty of ones that haven't moved yet. You don't need to chase the ones that are already up 3-4x from the lows. There's plenty of ones that have plenty of opportunity. And then I think the AI coins. But the thing about the AI coins is these ones run hard when they run, right? These ones, the pullbacks are very shallow. And when they get on a rally, they get on a rally. So I think Elon is announced that he's launching his AI company. His AI company, I think next week. I think you're going to start to see AI start to heat up again. It already did kind of heat up, a couple weeks ago, but nothing like it did earlier this year when a lot of these AI coins pulled 10x's, right? I think you're going to see Fed, right, Render, and some of the lower cap ones, right? There's some good ones like PAL and I don't know. There's a million of them, but whatever one you like the best, they're all going to move together. And I think these ones are prepped for another run here over the course of the next few weeks too. So that's my thoughts on alts. Bitcoin kind of just chilling. Would you consider Ajax? Yeah, Ajax is an AI. Ocean's another good one. Shit. Let's see. The left curve. Man, the left curve. The left freaking curve, man. AI coins are run by Elon and people he deals with. Probably, man. Probably gonna be AI Doge. You want exposure to Elon? Just get AI Doge. That's the one. That's the one that you want. Bitcoin is getting bullish. Well, it's not getting bullish. It has been bullish for the whole year. In reality, right? We don't like to admit it because it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit that like what's going on in the world. But Bitcoin's been bullish the whole year in reality. Right? I mean, Bitcoin on the year is up 132% on the year, right? It doesn't fit what's going on in the world and kind of what the narrative that everyone's spinning to you in the news. And that's just the facts. That is the facts. And honestly, like, what was the big thing and people were scared about why Bitcoin's going to dump? Look at the stock market this week. This is like one of the biggest 3-day candles in history. This is always how it works, man. You get max fear on the stock market, and then all of a sudden, boom! You get one of the biggest 3-day candles in the history of the S&P 500. Every time. Every freaking time, man. You start seeing the thumbnails from the usual bears on YouTube. And boom! Man. A big green dildo right up the ass on the S&P. Basically erasing, 3 weeks of downside. Same thing with the NASDAQ. NASDAQ almost back to where it was in early October. Just completely basically erasing most of the doomsday calls with a giant green dildo right up the ass. And you know, I'm gonna listen. I think these continue up until we get a rate cut. Until the Fed cuts rates, which is historically when we see the bigger dump, the bigger crash, is when the Fed cuts rates. I think these will continue up. I still think people are getting this a little bit too early, and I've been guilty of that. But throughout history, the real dump happens when the Fed cuts rates, not before, right? Everyone always thinks before, but it usually doesn't happen before. It's when the Fed markets, and we used to look at this back in last year, but it's boring now. Usually stocks go up until the Fed says we're going to cut rates, because that's usually when something shits the bed, and then the real crash happens. Until then, are we still going with the all-time high end of year for the S&P? Wouldn't be surprised. I know that's not a hot take at the current moment because we pulled back, but I don't think that is terribly out of the realm of possibility. That will pump BTC higher. I know I didn't, Clinton. You know why I didn't buy any stocks? Because I've been busy DCAing crypto, because crypto will outperform stocks over the next 2 years. There's a time for stocks, and trust me, when I think stocks, or when cryptos hit a high, I will be transferring a lot of that crypto money into the stock market. But I think crypto will outperform stocks over the next few years. Doesn't mean I don't own stocks, I do. But I'd rather have my money in crypto at the current moment than the stock market. But there will be a time I become a boomer and I don't want to have that much risk, and I put it into the stock market instead for my measly 10% of gains a year. There'll be a time where the 10% gains a year, I'll be happy. You know, not yet. I'm still too much of a degen for that. You know, I can't justify buying S&P SPX index funds. You know what I mean? Like that is so boring. I don't want to buy that shit. I don't want to buy an SPX index fund, even though I know, right? I mean, of course, the history, that's been the way to go, is just buy and hold that long term. But I'm too much of a degen for that. Come on, man. Do I look like that? Do I look like that? Shit. Oh, Lord. All right. Yeah, that's the NASDAQ. And the biggest news today, which is another reason that the bears were jerking off. This was the bears' biggest argument, was the dollar was in... Look at the dollar today. Look at the dollar today on the unemployment news. Unemployment ticked up 0.1%. People overreact to that stuff so much. It's so funny, man. 0.1%. It's actually a larger amount of people when you think about 0.1% of the whole U.S. population. But look at the dollar today. The bears' biggest argument is being disqualified in front of their eyes, which was the dollar was going to go higher. You now have the opposite of what happened in the summer when everyone and their mother was saying the dollar was going to collapse, including me. I was wrong about that. But now you have the opposite. Now you have the bears saying the dollar is going to the moon, and now you're right back into the range, deviating back into the range, just like you did the opposite of the summertime, right? So the bears' biggest argument is being invalidated right in front of their eyes as the dollar dumps back into the old range. So really, you got everything going right now, right? What wasn't going right 2 weeks ago, which Bitcoin didn't give a shit about anyways, is now going right. Do the math. I don't know what 3 plus 3 is, but I'm pretty sure 3 plus 3 equals 6. Maybe 5. I don't know. I didn't pass math class. Just kidding. I actually was really good at math. I suck at English. You know, which is why I suck at live streaming, because I suck at public speaking. But, you know, I struggle with that too. But yeah, so the bears' biggest argument being disqualified in front of their eyes. And I mean, whatever way you want to look at it. Bitcoin follows the stock market. Cool, that's ripping up. Bitcoin follows gold. Cool, that's ripping up. You know, whatever argument you want to make, you make that argument for yourself. I don't know. You make that damn argument for yourself. Stocks are dead. Someday you'll grow up. We all do. True. I'm too young to be an index fund guy. You know, you turn into an index fund guy when you get into your 40s. I ain't there yet. Okay. I'm not an index fund guy. You know, you don't get Toyota Priuses being an index fund guy. You want to be able to afford a Toyota Prius in 2023? You got to be in crypto. All right? You got to be in crypto. You want to be able to afford a Lambo? You got to be in meme coins. You best get it right. Bitcoin 10K? Oh, Lord. Here we go. Here we freaking go. The 10Kers are back. You know, it only took one day to get the 10Kers back. You know? That's always the best part. All right. What else do we got, guys? Not too much going on. Fear and greed. Let's see, a little bit of a dip from yesterday. 72 to 65. So we're back at 65 on the fear and greed. But yeah, not really too much else going on. Sushi swap continuing its run up. Blur, Ocean, FET. Some of the biggest gainers today. A lot of the what's it called? AI tokens. Oh, look, GMT's getting a nice little run up today too. Nice. Almost back to 20 cents on GMT. That's a good sign. Dan! What's up, my guy? Come on, crypto. Daddy needs a new Prius. We all need a new Prius. When Prius? Imagine waiting all year for 5% on Apple stock. Well, to be fair, Apple's done very, very well this year. A lot of the only stocks that done well this year are the tech stocks. Everything else has gotten absolutely pummeled this year. Simple said, we ain't going nowhere, bros. No one gives a F about crypto right now. Bro, that's usually when crypto goes somewhere. Not when everyone and their mother talking about Doge. You know what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm putting down? Prius. The Toyota Prius. It's ridiculous. Mr. Adams? No. That's not the plan. Smash the like. Thank you, Chandra. Thank you, Chandra. Thank you, Chandra. Yo, John, what's up, buddy? What's going on, man? What's going on, my friend? Not too much. Today is just a bland day. There's not really much going on today. Chainlink. Chainlink's actually had a nice little consolidation. Chainlink, kind of just like Chainlink's doing the same thing. It's kind of just like this upwards consolidation here. Not really giving the bears the pullback, right? I think Chainlink's kind of the same thing, right? When we look at Chainlink, when I look at this chart for Chainlink, to me, and this is the way I'm looking at this, I don't want to see a pullback to $9. I actually think a pullback to $9 actually would look kind of bad to me, right? The way I like ranges is if I see a 2-year range being broken out of, we should see just continuation. We should see this thing be really looking like the soul chart, right? I don't want to see a pullback to $9. A pullback to $9 actually, like I said, look kind of shady to me, honestly. But I think if you look at the daily, it's kind of like Bitcoin's daily chart. I mean, you just see these dailies, right? Kind of just grinding up, right? They're kind of just grinding upwards, right? Upwards accumulation. The bear's worst nightmare is the upwards accumulation. Does not give them an entry. So I think Link is getting prepared for the next leg. I think 1350 is a reasonable expectation for Link before any type of bigger correction. I really do think that it's very similar to Bitcoin and everyone waiting for 2030, the perfect retest to 32K, right? It's going to fall right in your lap with your limit orders at 32K, and everyone who is all called for 32K is just going to perfectly buy it at the same time. It's kind of like Link in this box. The limit orders are stacked in here. They've just front run that shit. We push it up to 1340. Everyone with limit orders decides that, all right, screw this. I'm just going to get in up here. And then it pulls back. But yeah, Link, I think the upwards accumulation is looking quite Why does it keep doing this, man? Oh, come on. There we go. He's looking quite fantastic. John said, you missed my super chat the other night, but it's all good. I'm still singing at your wedding, bro. My wedding? Ha! I ain't never getting married. You got a bigger chance, a fatter chance than seeing, you have a fatter chance of seeing Jabba reappear on this channel than that ever happening. Good freaking luck. Not the way I see this world at the current moment. Frank, what's up, bro? It's Freaky Friday. Switch bodies. No, you don't want Freaky Friday. You want to be yourself. You don't want to be no Freaky Friday. You know? No Freaky Friday. Is not getting married financial advice? It is. I'll tell you this. And I've always been perfectly honest with my thoughts about marriage. As a man, there is no point of getting married. The only reason you get married as a man is because the woman you want to be with is forcing you to do it. That's the only reason you do it. And that's always been my opinion. And people will disagree with me all you want, but I've seen enough of this world, and even with my own family, to know that marriage is pointless. I get it from a woman's perspective, but from a man's perspective, it is completely the most pointless thing in the world. It's this like man-made thing that you feel like you have to do because that's what always, like, that's what they told you have to do, right? You have to do it. You have to. You're not successful unless you're married. Why? It doesn't even make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And you could be married and happy, that's cool, but like you're playing the lottery there, you know? I disagree. I mean, everyone who disagrees is going to be the people that are currently married. Anyone who's divorced or not married already is going to disagree, is going to agree. You know? It is what it is. Marriage is to promote family. But you don't have to be married to why do you have to be married to have a family? Like, I've never gotten that. It's this like thing that is just, everyone's just brainwashed into thinking they have to do. Why can't you just have a family and not be married? Right? Let's be honest. Does marriage really mean anything anymore? No. I mean, people could just get divorced. Anyone could just say, I want a divorce. You know? And then boom, it's over. There you go. Like, does it really mean anything? No, man. That's why I like the divorce rate. I think divorce rate's pushing 50%. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous at this point. Come on. Let's keep it real. Mr. Adams said, I'm divorced, and I agree. Exactly, man. Why can't you just have a family and not get married? Right? Here comes Fat. Oh, man. It's the narrative of the gemstone. True. No common law. It's a cult thing. It is a cult thing, man. Can't split a mortgage with your girlfriend. Well, you shouldn't want to. You should be able to. You should be wanting to do it yourself, right? If we believe, right? So it's the funniest thing. Like, if we believe in the sort of if we believe in having like the old way of thinking, right? Getting married and stuff. Shouldn't you believe in the man being able to pay for the house for himself too? Right? It goes hand in hand. You know? Jordan married to BTC. I used to be married to ETH, but now I'm married to BTC. I'll want ETH back shortly. In January. I will want ETH back in January. You know what I'm saying? Wayne. Wayne, chill out, man. Chill out. We're not going that far. Shit. I started shit with this conversation, man. I love it, man. Listen, I always like to say, like, yeah, people can disagree with me. I'm always gonna have that thought process, though. It's I guess maybe it's what I've seen in my own personal life, and that's fine, right? Everyone has disagreements. I think it's depends on a multitude of factors and what you believe in that circumstance. All right, ETH is dirty and worn out. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with Bitcoin at the moment. You know, Bitcoin is like you can always trust Bitcoin. Like you just know it's there. And then in January, I'll want ETH back. Why will I want ETH back in January? Because we know, based on history, when does Ethereum Bitcoin bottom? It always bottoms in January of the halving year. Okay? And don't you forget it. And my bold prediction is the ETH Bitcoin ratio will bottom on the Bitcoin ETF announcement. Contrary to popular belief, the ETH Bitcoin ratio will bottom on the ETF announcement. Boom. Whenever that happens. Actually, whenever the ETF announcement happens, that's probably when I'm going to pile into ETH on that exact day. ETH always bottoms for me. True, John. Mr. Mount, Jordan has been drinking early today. No, I'm not drinking early today, man. Today is just it's an interesting day today, man. There isn't too much going on in the cryptoverse. It's a nice tame day, right? I mean, you need these kind of days. So like we talked about yesterday, like when the market gets a little bit too frothy, which I think the market was getting a little too frothy. I think we need a Bitcoin dominance pump is what we really need. The market was getting too frothy, right? People getting maybe a little bit too confident in the altcoin market, and not remembering that we need Bitcoin to go up first if we want this rally to truly sustain. If Bitcoin kind of just keeps going sideways and altcoins just keep running, it's actually not what you want to see. I know that's not what the altcoiners wanted to hear, but if we want this run to sustain and not just fizzle out, we need Bitcoin to start moving here soon, in my personal opinion, right? But whatever, man, whatever. But we need these kind of days, right? We need these days to kind of did you guys watch George today? George said he he was killing it in the futures trades and he got wiped out yesterday, which maybe is a bottom signal too, right? George was getting, I think that was the perfect signal, right? George was going into futures trading because he was so confident in the altcoins going up. George is now washed out. George is liquidated. He said it this morning on his stream. George was liquidated. So that's what we needed, right? We needed to liquidate the frothy altcoiners, okay? Get them out of the market, and then we can continue the rise. We need some of those days. And yesterday was, like I said, it was one of those days where you just flushed out the over frothy altcoiners. Now we need Bitcoin to do its thing. Lord, we need ETH to start moving. Almost. I think we got another few months. I'll tell you this though, there's still that big ETH short guy. There's still the big ETH short guy. You guys know which one I'm talking about. The guy who's like $23 million short on ETH and he's down like 6 million or some shit. Something tells me he gets taken out sometime soon. Right? Let's go look at ETH. Yeah, ETH has got the same. Look at the ETH upwards accumulation. You can't be bearish on the ETH upwards accumulation. Oh, it's beautiful, man. The upwards accumulation. I think that guy's lick is in 19. Something tells me this guy gets taken out pretty soon. I think they see that money, like that whatever exchange he's on sees that money and they're like, I want that shit. And they're gonna come tap his ass. They're gonna come tap his ass before it's too late. I could just see like Bitcoin kind of moseys back up to 25, ETH outpaces for a day or two, takes that shit, and then pulls back. They want that lick up there at 1913. You could just tell by the upward sloping price action there that they're going for that shit. His fee gain will make it fine. Yeah. His name is Sifu. Yeah, they want Sifu's money, and they will take Sifu's money. Bears are gonna make it. The Bears will make it, man. I mean, there's nothing wrong being in cash. There's nothing wrong being in cash. You're just gonna lose all your money to inflation. That's fine. You're just gonna lose all your money to inflation, and that's okay, right? That is okay. You can lose all your money to inflation, and while the banks fail, you might have nowhere to take out your money, but that's okay. That's okay, right? We're gonna keep all our money in fiat in the bank, right? You know, as the Fed interest rates are the highest point since 2008. Sounds like a smart idea. Sounds like a smart idea. Let me tell you, that sounds like a brilliant idea. That sounds like a brilliant idea. Does. All in fiat. Wouldn't it be max pain if alts finally pump just after big BTC dump? Now, you want me to be honest what max pain would be? And I've said this multiple times. Max pain would be Bitcoin pumps and the altcoins just go nowhere. That would be max pain. Because that would piss off all the bears. And it would piss off 50% of the cryptoverse, because 50% of the cryptoverse is all in altcoins. That would be horrible. That would be horribly. I would be pissed if that happened, to be honest. I would be so pissed if that happens. Let's see. Dan said, I love my wife. Dan, I'm not saying you don't love your wife, but you could have loved your girlfriend too. You know what I'm saying? We're not going back to that conversation though. We're done with that one today. Let's see. Became bear in this time is good. Nice. Let's do a poll. You know, actually, today is a good poll day. Let's do a poll real quick. Let's do a poll. What will Bitcoin hit first? Actually, I think this is it. Let's do a crazy poll today. What will Bitcoin hit first? I'm gonna do 48K and 30K. 48K and 30K. We're gonna do a kind of a crazy poll today. Which one will Bitcoin hit first? I'm curious what this poll will be. 48K or 30K? Let me know in the chat. I always vote the opposite. Don't do that. Don't do that. I know a lot of you guys do that, man. I know a lot of you guys do that. That's why I don't trust these YouTube polls, because I know a lot of you guys troll the poll, man. You really do. Squirrel jumped on my face yesterday. You need to stop feeding them. Squirrel jumped on the face? Oh, Lord. Squirrel's crazy as AF. I answered honestly this time. There you go, Wayne. Drew said, bro, we're going to 8K. Of course we're going to 8K, man. But first we're going to all-time highs. all-time highs, and then Great Collapse, and then Great Depression collapse. So yes, I agree. Soon Jordan is going to say we don't need the... You guys are crazy, man. You don't get my point. Is squirrel code for something else? Yes. Squirrel is code for something else. All right, it's 50-50. I'm ending it on 50-50. Let's keep us in just not knowing what's going to happen next. All right. Anyways, guys, I'm out of here. Stay easy, stay good. Stay easy, stay good. Continue to work hard. This is the time you want to put your head down and work. Not when it's already too late. All right. I'm out of here. Peace. Gaming with Bat. Later, bro. I'm out of here. Boring days today. Bitcoin just kind of consolidating here. Not really too much going on in the altcoin market either. So don't have any midlife crisis, guys. I'm seeing a lot of people having midlife crises right now for some reason. You don't need to have a midlife crisis. Just chill out. All right. Don't blow up your life right before things get good. No midlife crises. Okay. I'm out of here. Peace, love, and most importantly, stay safe and stay sane in this crazy world. Okay, I'm out of here. Catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.